Okay. Well, I hope you're all keeping well and getting through this isolation and social distancing. It makes me wonder if we'll ever get back to walking past people without thinking about it too much. You know, I've been walking in the road and all kinds of strange things. So maybe I'm hoping it will come back. And someone was saying the other day about, you know, when we get back to normal, and to some extent, what we considered to be normal before all of this stuff, the stuff that we just took as done or as seen, maybe we shouldn't be looking at it as normal anymore. You know, there's, I think, something like 1.5 million people in the United States who are homeless. I think in the UK it's something like 500,000 people who are homeless, living on the streets. You know, would we say in a normal society that's a normal way to be? You know, when I think it's something like $52 billion will eradicate poverty on the planet. And we've got people like the man who owns Amazon, who's got a personal wealth of $138 billion. You know, is that normal? I mean, I think this crisis and the time it's given us to look at things in a different way should make us all start to question what is normal, the things we have accepted before. You know, the pollution. You know, I'm guilty of it. I mean, my office is a 20-minute walk from my house, and I drive. I used to drive. I won't do it anymore, and I won't ever do it again. You know, because it's just what we get used to. My car, as I said the other day, has been sat outside my house now for 3 weeks, and I haven't missed it. And and now I look out the window, and it's just a ton of metal sitting out there, and we just got to look at things differently, maybe, and look at the way we behave as people and individuals. You know, up until this time, you know, my 17-year-old son, I'd get home from my office, I'd sit down in one part of the house, he'd go to his room, he'd be on his phone or he'd be on his computer, and the amount of actual time speaking to each other was minimal. And since this has happened, you know, my wife ordered a compendium of board games. And the last couple of days, he and I have been playing chess. And we also, because it's my passion, we play poker. You know, so the three of us, my wife and my boy and myself, we play poker of an evening, and things we wouldn't have done otherwise. So as bad as this is, and it is, I mean, it's horrendous for people, losing people and the families that are left, and, you know, all the sadness and grief. And you know, I can only call it a horror of not being able to say goodbye to people you love or be with them when they're dying. I can't think of a worse situation. I know when we think about these disasters, the thought of not being with your family, if the world was coming to an end, we'd all want to be there with the people we love at that point. And we're going through this now, and people are dying, and people are dying on their own. People are not being able to bury their loved ones because you're not allowed to have more than 10 people or whatever it is. You know, it is a horrendous time. But I'm hoping out of all of this horror that we'll, as a race, if you like, of human beings, will look at our lives differently. Think about how we can help each other. That's happened. That's one of the big things that's come out of this. You know, the appreciation of medical people. My wife's a nurse. She's been a nurse her whole life since she was 17, and she's a brilliant nurse. And yet, do they ever get the real, until this time, have they ever really got the recognition that they've deserved? You know, these people putting themselves on the front line, putting themselves in danger for all of us. It's been amazing. So that feeling of community, that feeling of who we are as human beings has changed. And I'm hoping that we won't go back to what we used to consider to be normal, and we will think about things differently and live differently, maybe appreciate the things we have differently. The freedom just to be able to go out and go to a restaurant and have a meal with your friends, things that we sort of taken for granted, to be able to go and visit your family, to have a hug from someone, I mean, I think that's one of the things that most of us have realised, you know, not being able to go, you know, my mother-in-law lives close by and my wife goes and she stands outside the house to deliver her groceries, and they you know, they sit with a glass between them while they sit in the garden, and there's no hugging or kissing or any of that stuff, which as human beings we need, you know. And her mother's living on her own. She's been on her own for three weeks now. So all of those things, I hope when this is over, we'll have a greater appreciation for. Anyway, that's my kind of rant for today. All right. So anyway, let's get into, thanks for everyone who's joined. Once again, it's been great to have so many people, you know, interested in hypnosis and maybe learning more about what it's actually about. I think it's been over 360 people registered for these sessions, which has been incredible for me, and it's been great. And I hope that those who have joined me before are learning something, maybe benefiting from it. And you know, I've been asked to do this maybe every week throughout this crisis, and I enjoy doing them. If you enjoy listening to them, and I'll be posting when I'm doing them, and maybe every week we could talk about a different subject. But anyway, today we're going to talk about anchoring. And some of you who have done NLP or done hypnosis may know about anchoring and know what it is. But for those who don't, anchoring, like most of the therapies that I use, have come from nature, if you like. You know, we anchor feelings with each other all the time. If you've got children, you've been doing that since they were born, probably. You know, from the time when they were tiny, and you maybe hum a song and you'd rock them, you know, and then they go off to sleep. And if you do that for a few nights running, then you're anchoring the sound of your voice, the sound of that music, the feeling of being rocked, to that feeling of relaxation and going to sleep. So when I'm talking about anchoring, that's what I'm talking about. You know, if you've got a child and when they're small and they fall over and they hurt themselves, and you pick them up and you sit them on your knee and you take a certain tone of voice, you might say, you know, you're going to be okay. You know, you've hurt your leg, but you're going to be okay. And you'll take that kind of tone of voice with them. Now, when we do that when they're children, even if your daughter's 18 and she's at university or college and she has her heart broken for the first time, and she phones you up and she says, Mum, you know, she's crying, you'll take the same tone of voice you did when she was 3 or 4 and she fell over and grazed her knee. And because she's anchored to that feeling of security through the sound of your voice, then she'll immediately feel better. She'll immediately know that she's secure and she's going to be okay. So anchoring, like most of the things that we teach, you know, we spoke over this last couple of weeks about pain and about pain control. And as I said, when we were talking about pain, that comes from a natural ability to overcome pain when it's useless or unnecessary. Or, as I said, we all know that if our life is under immediate threat, that no matter what pain you're in, for that time, until you're out of that situation, you won't feel that pain because your brain will shut it off. So as with most of the things that I've been teaching you and we've been working through together, all of these things that we do come from nature, and anchoring is one of those things. But what happened back in the 1970s when this guy Bandler and Grinder, who are sort of the people who developed NLP, what they actually did to start off with was study excellence. They took people who could do something brilliantly, whether it was sport, whether it was therapy, and they modeled them right down to the way they moved, the way they spoke, or even the way they dressed. And they found by doing that, you get pretty much the same results. So it started by modeling, but out of that, they realized that when they were watching these 3 therapists, which was Milton Erickson, who today I still believe is the genius of hypnotherapy. There was Virginia Satir, who was a family therapist, and Fritz Perls. And they studied these people. What they realized was that when they were working with their clients, they were also anchoring feelings with their clients and anchoring certain kinds of attitudes with their clients. Those of you who've been following me these last maybe 12 or 13 days, who have been hypnotized by me over these past few days, you'll have already anchored the sound of my voice to the sound of relaxation, or the feeling of relaxation and trance. So that's what I've been saying over the last few days. For those of you who've joined me over the last few days or the last couple of weeks, it becomes easier to go back into hypnosis. And sometimes if you are a hypnotherapist, if you're not doing this already, if you have a client who's been to you and they've been into hypnosis with you, you can bypass all the formality of the ritual of hypnosis and just say, as they sit in a chair, you can just remember how it felt to sit and listen to my voice and how it felt to go into that wonderful trance state. Because as they access that memory and that feeling, they're going to go back into hypnosis. So all of this, to some extent, is anchoring feelings with people. We do it in our family all the time. You know, I've got 4 sons. My oldest boy is now 48. When he was tiny, I would say tiny, but 5 or 6, and he was a bit of a nuisance. I mean, he's been the joy of my life, I have to say, all 4 of them. But he was a nuisance as a kid. And we'd go out and he'd start playing up, and he'd get to a point where I would just go, I'd point at him, and I would just look at him like this, and he would stop because he knew that was about as far as he could go. And I haven't done it, I must admit, for 40 years, but I'm sure if I was to suddenly look at him and go, I'm sure he'd still feel that feeling that he had when he was 6 or 7, because you anchor that look and that the tone of voice to a certain feeling. So we're doing this all the time anyway. But what Banner and Grinder realized, that they could take what we were doing naturally and utilize it consciously. So we could bring that into something we're doing. So today we're going to anchor a feeling of calm, but I'm also going to teach you how to do this. So today it's going to be calm, because I think in this time in our life that it's a good thing for us to have. If we're getting a bit stressed out or we're getting a bit concerned, to be able to bring ourselves back to a calm state, I think will be a good thing. But once you've learned how to do this, you'll realize that you can anchor all kinds of positive feelings into your body so that you can utilize them at any time. Personally, I have confidence, steely determination, and just for the fun of it, fearlessness. Now, I can't remember the last time I needed any of those things. But if felt I needed to feel more confident, I can put my hand together in a certain way. I can say a certain word in my mind. And because I've anchored that feeling of confidence to that action, I can immediately trigger that feeling of confidence. And as I said, I have those 3 things on one anchor. So you can, I'm going to show you how to do it today. You can stack anchors. So let's say today we put a feeling of calm into your hand, so you can trigger that feeling of calm anytime you want. After we've finished today, and you'll know how to do this, you can go and you can find that feeling of confidence and get into a confident state, and then anchor that on the same anchor with the same word as you've got your calm anchor. So then if you want to feel calm and you anchor the feeling of calm, you also activate the feeling of confidence. If you're in a situation where you want to feel more confident and you activate or you trigger the feeling of confidence, then you activate the feeling of calm. So you can have anchors stacked one on top of the other, providing they make sense. You don't want to be extremely excited and totally relaxed at the same time. That would be a bit weird. But you can have them on separate hands. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It's a very simple technique. But I would say, of all the things that I do, this is one of the most powerful things that you can offer your client. And not only offer your client, once you understand that we're doing this all the time anyway, you can do it for the people in your life. You don't have to be a hypnotherapist, you don't even have to be a therapist. You can do it for the people in your life. When you realize that your child is in a very positive up state, you can just place your hand on their shoulder and just look at them and say a word, brilliant, or whatever it might be. But you're going to do that consciously and purposely. You're going to remember where you put your hand on their shoulder. You're going to remember the word you used. Because then when they're not feeling very good, when they're not feeling very confident, and you want to get them back into that confident state, you just place your hand on their shoulder and you say the word. Now, generally, we do this 3 times. I spoke yesterday or the day before about a course I ran back in the early 2000s, a course I ran called Potent Shrew, which was teaching parents how to use these simple techniques to help their kids. And one of the things that you'll see, if you can check it out on YouTube, under that word potential, which means in Japanese, it's the Japanese word for potential anyway. But if you look on YouTube and you'll see it, and on there, the BBC filmed this course. And they filmed this lady, she's got 3 kids, I think. But one of her boys got ADHD. So he was like all over the show. And over the course of those 2 weeks or 3 weeks we worked together, she learned anchoring. So when the boy was watching TV and he was calm, she would just sit beside him and put her hand on his shoulder and say a certain word. And just let him carry on watching the TV. But she did this a few times when he was in a nice calm state. And then at the end of that bit of film, you'll see it if you look, it's filmed by the BBC, it was on BBC. And at the end of it, you'll see the kid starts to kick off in the garden again. And she just says, wait a minute, she goes over to him, puts her hand on his shoulder, says this word, and he calms down. So this is a wonderful thing you can do for your kids. You can do it for your partner. If you know when your partner's in a good up state and they're feeling great, then do something positive, that consciously you're going to do. It can be just touching their hand and telling them how fabulous they are, but using one word. So the time when they're not feeling as good as they want to feel, you're going to remember exactly what you did, and you're going to do the same thing, the same physical touch, the same trigger word, and you'll bring them back to that feeling of happiness or well-being. So this is things we can do for each other outside the therapy room. But in the therapy room, I look on this like my free gift, if you like, that I give away. I don't know if any of you remember, if you're in England, you remember a thing called, I think it was After Hours or whatever it was, with Ronnie Barker and, Ronnie Barker and David Jansen. It was about a corner shop. And I always say this is my free gift to my clients, because he used to advertise in his window, every purchase, there's a free gift. And when the people asked him afterwards, when he'd pack it up and they'd say, where's my free gift? And he'd say it's the brown bag that he'd put the stuff in. So anyways, the funny thing that he used to do. So my free gift to my clients, if they come in for confidence, I'm going to make sure they go out with an anchor for confidence. If they come in and they want a feeling of joy, I'm going to make sure they go out with an anchor for joy. And this is something you can do. It doesn't take hours. It's taken me longer to tell you about this than it's going to show me how to use it, okay? So what we're going to do in a moment, I'm going to first, you can write this down. If you've got a piece of paper and you want to learn how to do this so you can help others and help yourself, you can write these things down. It's very simple. To create an anchor, we need a couple of things. One, we need a physical anchor. So for me, I just make this kind of strange fist with my knuckle up. It's not a good one. I wouldn't suggest you do it. But you can put a finger and thumb together. Something you wouldn't do all the time anyway. Something you're going to use specifically as your physical anchor. So it can be crossing your fingers, squeezing your ear, but something subtle. You don't want to. I had a guy once, he said he was going to use this like karate move. I said, well, that's fine. But if you're in a pub and you want to feel calm and you do that, you're likely to get hit by someone. So it has to be something subtle. Fingers together, crossing your fingers, just squeezing your thumb, squeezing an earlobe, but something. And I want you to set that up now. So a physical anchor. We also need a trigger word. And as we're going to be anchoring a feeling of calm, then make it something that's relative to a feeling of calm. Okay, so it might be a place you go on holiday where you've had a really wonderful time just sitting in the sun. It may be the name of a friend that whenever you think about them, they feel calm, or a grandmother or your child. It can be a name, an object, or a place. Something, one word that you're going to use specifically to trigger this feeling of calm, okay? So I'm hoping you've got those two things down. They're necessary when you're doing anchoring. Physical anchor and a trigger word. Now, the next part of this is again, it's important. I'm going to ask you to, I'm going to hypnotize you anyway, but I'm going to ask you to get into a state of calm. So maybe think of a time when you felt totally calm. It may have been when your baby was tiny and they fell asleep on your chest, and that feeling of going to sleep with your baby. It might have been, just being with your partner and just drifting off into that calm space together. It may be a holiday time. but something that you remember, a state you were once in where you were really calm. But no, it's not going to be the memory that we're anchoring here. So we need to get the actual feeling, the physical feeling back. So 3 things are necessary: posture, breathing, and internal dialogue. In other words, in a moment, and I'm going to hypnotize you anyway, but I'm going to ask you, because you don't need to do hypnosis for this really, but I'm going to hypnotize because I know you love it. And you'd be disappointed if you weren't hypnotized today. So I'm going to hypnotize you. But in general, you don't have to be hypnotized to do this. You can do this standing up, you can do this sitting down, but 3 things have to be in place. So let's say I'm working with a client and they remember being calm on holiday. I'd say get as close to the posture as possible. So they're going to sit in a chair and they're going to relax, okay? Then the internal dialogue, what you would say to yourself when you're feeling calm. So posture, internal dialogue, and breathe how you breathe when you're calm. By doing these 3 things, you can get back to the actual feeling, because it's the feeling that we're going to anchor, not the memory, okay? Have you got that? I hope you've written this down. If you haven't, you can watch this again. I'm going to record it anyway. So once that's occurred, you're going to encourage your client, or when you're doing this for yourself, you know, maybe while we're in isolation, take yourself off to the bath, light your candles, get a glass of wine, get into a place where you're completely relaxed and calm. And when you're in that state, then you're going to put that physical anchor on and repeat that trigger word, okay? Now we're going to do this for maybe 7 or 8 seconds, because you can't keep that feeling at a peak for more than maybe 8 seconds. So when you're working with yourself or your client, you want to get to that peak of feeling. We're going to do calm today, but it can be confidence, it can be fearlessness, okay? We're going to get to that state, and then we're going to keep that feeling going. At the same time as keeping that feeling going, we're going to be counting to 8 and repeating the trigger word. So have you got that? I'll go over it again quickly. Physical anchor and a trigger word. We're going to get these 3 things in place: posture, breathing, internal dialogue, so we can capture or experience the feeling of calm. And then we're going to, once we get that feeling up and we get that feeling completely, we're going to repeat the word, the trigger word, at the same time as counting to 8. We then kind of clear the screen. So open your eyes, have a look around, take a breath, go back, and we do it again and get even deeper into that feeling of calm. And when we get to that point, we anchor it again with the trigger word and the physical anchor. We then clear the screen and we do it a 3rd time. Now, because I'm a hypnotist and because this is hypnotherapy, when we do this today, I'm going to give you a post-hypnotic suggestion that every time you want to go back into a feeling of calm, when you place your finger and thumb together, or you place that anchor on and you hear that word, you will instantly go back into that state of calm. Now, you can do this for yourself. You don't have to be a hypnotist to do it. But it has to be done over that period of time when they're keeping that feeling at its peak, okay? So we're going to run it, and you'll see once we've run it together how easy it is to do. And then you'll have the ability to do it. You know, I want you all who are listening to this to be able to help the people you love, to be able to help yourself, to be able to trigger a positive feeling whenever you want. Imagine what it's going to be like when you can feel confident at will, when you can feel calm at will, or you can feel joy or happiness at will, because this technique will give you that ability, okay? Right, so as I said, today we're going to be focusing on calm. So I'm hoping, because obviously I can't see you all, I'm hoping you've now got a physical anchor and you've got a trigger word that you're going to use. I'm going to hypnotize you. We're going to run you through this 3 times. But bear in mind, on the 3rd time, whatever you're feeling when you put that anchor on and you hear that trigger word, is going to be anchored into your body forever. So make it the most incredible, wonderful feeling of calm. I'm going to help you get there anyway, because I'm going to hypnotize you. I'm going to run you through the normal kind of hypnosis that I've been doing the last few days, where your body and your mind can relax. So you're already going to be there. And then once you're in that state of total relaxation and bliss, as I call it, I'm going to ask you to run this technique together. So let's go. So if you're ready to do this and ready to anchor the most incredible feeling of calm, I want you to just make sure that you're sitting comfortably and in a safe place. Now, whatever happens, no matter how calm you get, the chair will support you. So you're not going to end up on the floor somewhere, right? And listen to my voice if you want, but as I've been saying to you, I don't mean this rudely, I'm not interested in your conscious mind. Your unconscious mind will hear everything I've got to say. It will take from it what's needed for you to anchor this wonderful feeling of calm, okay? So if you're comfortable, I want you to do this. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, allow your eyes to close. Only as quickly as you're ready to anchor this wonderful feeling of calm. That's right, and I want you once again, focus on those tiny little muscles around your eyes. And imagine having your temples massaged. And those eyes are relaxing completely. Remembering that experience of hypnosis you've had with me before. How it's felt to sit and listen to my voice speaking to you. And remembering the words and the sounds and how it felt as you drifted into that wonderful space. Imagine that your eyes are relaxing with every word I say now. Imagine they're relaxing so completely they just won't work. And imagine there's nothing you can do about that now, just for a while. And let that feeling of relaxation just flood down through your body, your jaw relaxing, your tongue relaxing in your mouth. Just for a while. Nobody wants anything, no one expects anything. There is nothing for you to do but to relax. And let that relaxation go into your throat, the muscles in your neck relaxing. Let that feeling spread into your shoulders. Imagine having your shoulders massaged. And those muscles relaxing more and more completely now. All that tension, all that stress out of those muscles. Let that feeling spread down into your arms, your biceps, triceps, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. Let your arms relax completely now. And as you do that, you may become aware of certain sensations. You may even become aware of your pulse or your heart beating. As you relax even more, the muscles in your back, stomach and chest. And just for a moment, focus on your breathing. And imagine now that you're breathing in calm and you're breathing out tension. You're breathing in calm and you're breathing out doubt. And as you continue to breathe like that now, as you relax more and more, once again, we're going to run those words from the thanks protocol. And I want you, as I speak these words, to aim these words at yourself. So as you breathe in, as you breathe out, I recognize the good within you. Thank you. I care about you. I want you to be well. I recognize the good within you. Thank you. I care about you. And I want you to be well. And as those words continue to circulate in your mind now, let that feeling of relaxation go down through your stomach, down into your hips, your legs, your calves, ankles, feet and toes. Every muscle relax now. Like a handful of rubber bands just thrown on that chair, loose and relaxed. Nothing bothers or affects you, nothing disturbs you. All that matters now is you, the sound of my voice, and that feeling of calm. And the deeper you go now, the better you're going to feel. The better you feel, the deeper you'll go. Just for a moment, think about the people you love who love you. And see those faces, see those smiles, feel that love. Feel that love like a burning hot sun in a summer sky. Shrink it down to a white hot ball of light. Pull it into the very core of your being. And feel that light and that love flooding your body and your mind. Pushing out every ounce of stress, every ounce of tension, every ounce of doubt. Feel that light and that love and that joy flooding your body now. And as you do that, as you go deeper, deeper down into that feeling, and I want you to enjoy every moment. My voice, my words will drift with you to become a part of your experience now. And every word I say will take you even deeper into that incredible, wonderful state of profound hypnosis and trance. And the deeper you go, the better you will feel. The better you feel, the deeper you'll go. No, it's okay to feel that good. And as you drift into that state, every word I say now becomes your reality. Every suggestion I give you, you'll act upon, carry out without hesitation, is now your reality. Because you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, can continue to hear, to understand, respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to be aware of exactly where the arms are positioned, or the legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful free floating place of effortless relaxation and calm. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own way, as you drift as a mind. And that mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. Just for a moment, see yourself out there. It's the summer of 2020. You're fit and well, and once again, you're with the people you love. Free to move, free to go and see people, free to have your life the way you want it. And I want you to notice the way you move. Notice how things have changed in your mind, your appreciation of freedom and love and joy and touch. Step into that body and feel what it feels like. And look back to now and notice the things you did along the way that kept you safe, that led to that wonderful feeling. And the unconscious mind can allow those changes to occur, while the conscious mind drifts off someplace else entirely now. That's right, in your own time, in your own way, aware of events that occur along the way, as the unconscious mind utilizes this opportunity to alter your awareness and to continue that learning in whatever way is the right way for you. Learning that feeling of letting go, allowing the unconscious to assume more and more responsibility for guiding and directing awareness. As you continue to learn, even more than before, about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. As you relax and enter into the trance, more and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. And I can wonder whether you're aware that you've drifted deeply into hypnosis. Because the deeper you go, the better you will feel. And as you drift even deeper now, you can use your unconscious mind as a resource that you can learn from and really have an experience. So what I'd like you to do now is go to that place in your mind, a time in your life maybe, when you were completely calm, when just for a while nothing else mattered, where you went into a state of total bliss, total calm. And I want you to breathe now, how you breathe when you felt that feeling of calm. I want you to say in your mind what you said when you were in that state of calm. I want you to breathe now, how you breathe when you're in that wonderful state of calm. And as that feeling of calm grows and grows now, as you go even deeper into that wonderful feeling, when you're ready to anchor this feeling, I want you to just put that physical anchor that you've decided upon, put it on now, and repeat the trigger word in your mind. And keep that feeling of calm going now. Feel it even stronger, that's right. Feel that feeling, hear that trigger word in your mind, and keep that wonderful feeling of calm going even stronger now. Okay, now just relax once more, go even deeper into hypnosis. Drifting deeper, deeper down now. Imagine you're just dropping down through space and time. Nothing bothers or affects you, nothing disturbs you. And as you drift even deeper, once again, I want you to go back to that incredible feeling of calm and feel it even more now. Imagine you're going to a state so deep, calm, that you can hardly move. And imagine now as you do that, you're breathing, how you breathe when you feel calm. You're saying to yourself what you say when you're calm. And you're in that wonderful calm position. And feel that feeling of calm growing stronger and stronger. And as that feeling spreads through your body, once again, when you're ready, I want you to put that physical anchor on. I want you to say that trigger word in your mind and just keep that incredible feeling of calm going now. Imagine you're dropping into a state of calm, and imagine there's nothing you can do about that. It's just becoming more and more calm. That's right, keep it going. Hear that word, that trigger word in your mind as that feeling of calm grows stronger and stronger now. Okay, just relax for a while, let that sound go from your mind and go even deeper, deeper down into hypnosis. Every word I say just doubles that wonderful feeling. Just for a while, nobody wants anything, no one expects anything, there is nothing for you to do but to enjoy that feeling of calm. And now once again, this third time, it's going to be even stronger, even more beautiful. I want you to go back into that wonderful state of calm. Maybe remember that time in your life when you were calm, and feel that feeling now spreading through your body like that light and love. But let that feeling of calm now spread through your body into every cell, every fiber, every muscle, into the very marrow of your bones. Feel that calm spreading now. And once you do that, as you do it, that's right, say what you'd say to yourself when you're calm. Breathe how you breathe when you're calm. And when you absolutely feel that feeling, this time, place that anchor on now and say that trigger word in your mind over and over. And keep that feeling of calm going. And from today, whenever you want to feel calm, you place that physical anchor on, you hear that trigger word in your mind, and you will instantly go back to this feeling of calm. From today, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, you put that anchor on, you hear that word in your mind, you will instantly go back into that wonderful state of calm. From today, you place that anchor on, you hear that word, and you will instantly go back to this incredible, wonderful feeling of calm. And so as you go even deeper now, my voice, my words are going to drift with you to become a part of that wonderful experience. The deeper you go, the better you feel. Imagine you're just dropping down toward a place of bliss. Imagine it's happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. And as you drift in that space, you'll realize that you can do this for yourself. And you can do it for the people you love. You can do it for the people who ask for your help. You now know how to use, how to enable someone to have a physical anchor that they can help them in a positive way. And so as you drift deeper and deeper now, once again, just go out there into the future and see yourself out there fit and well, achieving all the things you want to achieve. and doing it brilliantly. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Step into that body and feel what it feels like to have achieved what you want to achieve. Free of every limitation, every negative thought that you or anyone else have placed on you. You'll realize it for what they were, imposters. They were never real. And from today, as you take full control of you, every limiting belief disappears. Every negative limiting thought that was ever placed on you has gone from your mind, replaced by new understanding. And so as you drift even deeper now, go with your unconscious as often as you need to know that that thing of calm is now available to you at any time, in any situation. It may be interesting to know that in that relaxed, drifting state of mind, where those thoughts drift by like dreams, and some enter the mind and some drift through the mind, and some are left behind to be used later on, and others are remembered or seem to be remembered at first, but then become more and more distant, forgotten over time. And this entire experience may seem so far away, like a dream you had, as the unconscious mind protects the conscious mind and leaves those things behind. So it's your privilege. Use this experience. Think about the things you can do. Strengths, abilities, skills, the love you may have overlooked before, that will allow you a clear view of the possibilities of a new way of living, a new way of being. Take that time now, a brief time that seems to be a long time. Review, plan at some level of awareness the things you're going to change later on, things you're going to do later on, as you begin to use more and more of you. Take that time now. Go over your unconscious as often as you need to know that you now have the ability to trigger that feeling of calm at any time. And only when the unconscious mind knows and has made those changes and allows the conscious mind to accept the changes made. Because in a while I'm going to count to 10. And as I count to 10, on 8 your eyes will open. You're going to feel incredible, like you've had a ton weight lifted. You'll see things differently. You'll experience things differently. And on 10, that feeling of freedom, calm, confidence, it's going to grow stronger day by day. So get ready. As I count to 10, every suggestion I've given you, you'll act upon and carry out without hesitation. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel incredible. And on 10, that feeling of freedom and empowerment is going to grow stronger day by day. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful now. 2, to achieve all the things you want to achieve and do it brilliantly. 3, a feeling of freedom from every negative thought that ever held you back. 4, feel the force of that love and that freedom and empowerment through every cell, every fiber of your body. 5, feeling incredibly alive now. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible. 9, 10. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed that experience. Before we part today, I am going to go over this one more time because I want you to get this and understand that you can do this for others. And not only for others, but for yourself. So remember the rules. A physical anchor, it can be anything, but I would suggest it's something subtle that you can use anywhere. A trigger word, something that relates to the feeling that you want to trigger in the future. Okay, a specific, you're going to use these things specifically. As I said, it can be a finger and thumb together and the word calm if you want to do that. Okay, remember that you can stack anchors. So now you've got a physical anchor for calm. At some point later on today, whenever you want to, and you want to get into a state of total confidence, think of something you do well. It might be you're an absolute confident parent, or you may be a teacher or a typist or a musician, but something you're totally confident about. Get into the state and put it on the same anchor with the same word. And remember the rules. To get the feeling, because it's the feeling you're going to anchor, not the memory, you use those 3 things. Breathing, posture, internal dialogue, okay? And you can help yourself with this. Once you've got the feeling up, you anchor, put the anchor on, hear the word in your mind, and keep that feeling going for maybe 7 or 8 seconds. Clear the screen, do it again. On the third time, and you're possibly able to do this now, just say it to yourself, from today, whenever I place this anchor on and I hear this word in my mind, I will instantly go back to this feeling of, and then state the positive outcome, okay? You're all capable of doing this. This is recorded. If you want to learn how to do it and you want to do it even more, trust me, you already got it, but you can do it again, okay? So I'm hoping now, and I want you all to do this, all those who are still with us and still watching, just place the anchor on, hear the word in your mind, and see what happens in your body. And I want you to just tell me in the chat box what you've just felt as you've done that. And it'd be great for me to get that bit of feedback. So once again, you know, I'm here tomorrow. I haven't really thought about what I'm going to do tomorrow yet. That's how good I am at planning stuff, but I'm sure I'll come up with something today and I'll let you all know. I hope you enjoyed today and enjoyed these sessions. If you're interested in what I do, then I've got a mailing list and you can go to my website and subscribe. It's free. And what I'm going to be doing, see my book here, Hypnotherapy, which is a best-selling book and an audio book, but I'm going to be making a video every week with a chapter of that book. So I'm going to be putting that out to members of whoever's subscribed to that list, okay? So if you're interested in what I do and you want to get those videos once a week or whatever, then do that. Throughout this crisis, I've been asked now to do maybe one of these every week. So I'm going to continue with different things, okay? So let me know if you're interested and some subject you want me to work on together, and we'll do that. But look, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've rattled on a bit today. So thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for going with it with me. Have a beautiful day. I am going to look through the chat box now because I want to see if I spoke to Michelle earlier, see if she wants to have that session or not. And again, stay well, stay safe, be happy, and I'll see you again soon. Okay.